Alrighty. Gonna be taking our sweet time today to get everything set up to go because, yeah, I'm tired. I think perks would be the best thing to go over today. Oh, my knives have gone up. That's pretty cool to see. So, last 90-day results. Sweet. What's up, Odin? Ah, you're alive. Thought you weren't going to live stream today. No, I thought about it, man. I was sitting here like a lot of people want to see perks and stuff, and I think I can go over a detailed run in a stream, and then we can go over like a quick run inside of a video. So for anyone like who wants to jump in this and then go over perk builds or my perk builds and in my opinion what could be really usable, then yeah, that's what this is for. And I'm gonna slack off a little bit. Wait a minute, did I make that invite only? So I just jumped over on Twitch and I just looked at this guy. He's got a setup. He's got stuff running. But it was like, whenever you tried to comment, it was like subscribers only. And he only has 21 followers. And I was sitting there like, if you were to switch that around, you probably could get a couple more people to watch. But the guy's overall W&8 was like 500. So I felt like sitting there typing out like what to aim for, things to do. And all of a sudden I realized subscriber only chat. And I'm just like, I'm gonna leave this now. Oh, okay, there's a crew that I want to rework. And if you guys want to go over with it with me to see what I plan on doing to the crew, then here we go. So for the E100, I feel like I made a mistake. So the armor angling, sure. The 5% overall is pretty cool to have, but it's only 5%. And then along with that, I was talking to a couple of guys about track mechanic and general mechanic. And what I mentioned was general mechanic feels almost like a useless perk because born leader is crew performance, so 10% increase to skill effectiveness and crew performance. So when they say skill effectiveness, every single one of these is a skill, except for Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense is more of a perk. Firefighting is a skill. Rapid loading is a skill. Clutch braking is a skill. And I wonder what it does for that 10% overall. So there's a lot of things that they haven't mentioned. So what we're going to do is we're just going to respec this E100 crew. And we're going to put this together feeling how I feel about the system now. Which is going to be Sixth Sense, rapid loading, born leader, clutch braking is still going to be used just to give us the extra rotational speed. Along with that, we're going to be wanting to use overall steady aim. We're going to come back over. We're going to select track mechanic because we're going to need that. And then, scrolling through this, there are a couple of things we can do. So, taking a look, so far, nothing is catching my eye. So we're going to do situational awareness for the extra view range. Along with that, we're going to go ahead and have a brain fart. So turret and rotation speed would be more effective on like the mouse, which this crew does go on the mouse as well. So we could do muffled shot, but at the same time, this is a big beast of a tank, so that feels like a perk slot that we can save. So let's actually just do run and gun. And then, just to give us that overall advantage, we're going to do the rapid aim. Okay, so for the E5, I have a rammer vent, but I don't know. Spa liner coated. Okay, so before I had a spa liner, before I had coated optics on my E5, I was actually giving up a crap load of view range by running with the gun stabilizer. So I had like 424 meters of view range, which is still a decent amount of view range with the situational awareness. And then the vertical stabilizer, which is the gun stabilizer now, which just gave me the extra accuracy that I needed to land all my shots. But now that I, 3-mark the tank, I feel like I can do whatever build I want on the tank because now it's kind of an experiment tank to test out crews and test out other things to see how certain things perform now. So there is that. So benefits in 10 with the E5. This is turning into a very, very test dummy tank. Uh-oh. Well, speaking of which, should we pull out the OE5? Ooh, hold on. Mento Vento just put a post. New premium tank, T22 medium. Possibly coming out this Tuesday. Okay, Simmons, you want to see a 60 TP setup and go over my perks and that? So hold on, T22 medium tank, possibly a tier 8. Certain tanks progression is now correctly applied and players will now be able to set up their vehicles and launch into battle. Okay, that's something I wanted to see. But T22, that sounds American. It's got to be a tier 8. T22, heavy. Is it a heavy? Why do I feel like I recognize T22? No, they said medium. Okay, now I just feel dumb. Once I find this, I'll bring you guys with me. I don't think it's a tier 8. There's the 122 TM, but it's a T22 medium. They don't have a tier labeled. T22. Sorry, I got a couple of guys that are really awesome on helping me out with getting early information. And you know what, while we're sitting, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll over to the 60 TP, and then we'll take a look at the skills in that. And my 60 TP, yeah, I've got this thing set up for not really worried about accuracy, just really focused on overall performance. And, okay, you said medium tank. I swear you said medium tank, but I don't see a T22 medium tank. Is it a new tank entirely that we don't even have on the board? If it is, that's going to be really weird. There we go, right on the 60 TP. So I do get a little bit of gun handling for my 60 TP. I think I'm done looking for this tank. Unless they're talking about the T44 122. So T22 medium. You know what? We'll find out what tank it is on Tuesday. I'm not worried about that right now. So we're going to exit tanks GG. You think the T22 is a Russian? Yeah, that's what I thought too at the same time. Alright, so for the 60 TP starting off, we run with 6 cents. And keep in mind that this crew has been set up the entire time. So each time you see me pull out my 60 TP, this is the crew that I run on it. And then we'll also go over the consumables, the reasons why I don't recommend using general mechanic and just to use track mechanic, and then a couple of other things out there. So 6 cents, born leader, rapid loading, steady aim, snapshot, run and gun. So I do have the 3 accuracy perks right here. So I am bolstering the gun as much as I can in the 60 TP, which I didn't even realize I was. But now I know. What is the setup skills for the E5? We'll check those out here in a second too. And then we run track mechanic, clutch braking just to give us the extra rotational speed, and then rapid aim to help us get the additional rotating speed on the turret too. Just to allow us to turn to the target. It helps out for brawling. So in a brawling match, this is going to be the 2 best perks for clutch braking and rapid aim. And the track mechanic will just help you get back up. Now, general mechanic, which is a 10% increase to all repair speeds of all damage modules. The reason why I don't recommend using this is because we have Born Leader, a premium consumable. Okay, if you're running a premium consumable, you get that extra repair speed to begin with. So that extra additional 10%. So let's take the 25% repair speed, come over here. So your enhanced repair kit has a 15% already applied to it. So it's 25, 30, 40%. Not including your premium consumable, which is 10% crew performance and 10% commander XP, which I don't know why they're adding the experience bonus. Pay more, get more experience. That's I guess that's okay. But then that's 50% repair speed right there. Not including Born Leader that you're running, to where you can get it up to about 60%. So there's a lot of things amplifying it. So whenever you want to put on general mechanic, is 70% really worth it? Is that quarter of a second or half a second really worth it for that perk? Just to help you get up and moving? I mean, sure, against a light tank, you could argue that it would make a really big difference, but I don't think it would make too much of a difference. And then for the gun, we are running with, well, for the equipment, we're running with improved ventilation, advanced loader, and then advanced reloader. And the reason why I'm using advanced reloader is because if you know what targets that what target you're looking at, sorry, I'm skipping words here. I've only been awake for like an hour. I got home and took a nap. But advanced reloader, oh my Jesus, can I speak English today? Okay, advanced reloader allows you to swap non-clip ammo freely. And with the 90 armor pin that the high explosives that the 60 TP offers, there's moments that you could have a standard loaded and you're looking at the rear of a tank. So now double tap A or double tap X, whatever platform you're on, Xbox or PlayStation, and put a shot straight into the bum for 900 damage rather than your 750. So that there is that. Any other tanks you guys would like to see? Other than the 60 TP and the E5, which I still got to show off the E5 crew. Oh, my knee, don't do that. That hurts. Probably heard me hit my desk. Okay, so for the T11OE5, I'm running with Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Deadeye, and Deadeye I'm more than likely going to be taking off of this build just because I don't feel like I really need Deadeye because it's not a big caliber gun. So I feel like Deadeye could be traded out for, let's say, like, we're already running clutch braking, rapid aim for Deadeye. And if you look, I only have 1 perk bolstering my accuracy in this tank. So then 6 cents, track mechanic, clutch braking, steady aim, firefighting, situational awareness. In my opinion, this is a very well-balanced setup. We're getting a little bit of accuracy. We're bolstering our view range. We have additional rotation speed. Along with that, we know if we're spotted, if we get set on fire, we have, better chances of putting it out. A lot of stuff. And now that you guys all mentioned that it's T2, oh my God. Okay, found it. Are you kidding me? Coming Tuesday is rapid aim Better than snapshot? Well, rapid aim only increases turret rotation and gun rotation speed. So whenever you're running rapid aim, snapshot would actually be really nice to apply to give you the extra accuracy on the move, because your dispersion values on the move now have been doubled or increased by 10% overall. Because you're moving 10% faster, so you can basically say, who knows, you have a 25% larger bloom, snapshot can now make up the difference for that. So, okay. Possible tanks coming on Tuesday. Here we go. The T-22 medium. This guy, 320, which means that this is probably only 100 millimeter caliber. Shell velocity. Oh my god, look at that shell velocity. Okay. APCR standard, 264. Heat loaded next is going to get 330 pin. And rounds per minute, 7.73 on PC. Pretty sure console it's going to be broken like no other, because of the reload systems and everything else. Let's take a look at the armor here. Oh, geez, it's got a pike. How thick is this pike? Oh, that's not bad. Only 100 millimeters. Okay, but, I mean, if it's coming up on a ridge line, 5 degrees of gun depression, 1 degree off your rear, none there, 2.4. It's Russian, all right. That's looking... Just side armor on this. It's probably 80 millimeters. If it's 80, this is going to be side scraping. Look at how brought in that armor is. That's like... Wow, even the bottom's got a little pike. Okay, this is going to be a side scraping super douche. Uh-oh. Is this really what they're adding? Okay, so you can overmatch the top, only 50. And that turret looks nice. Except for the cheeks and the side. Little hatches. You'd be better off aiming for the cheeks. Or maybe even trying the... Oh, wow. Whenever it's driving towards you, the lower plate has an auto ricochet. So you're better off shooting the top plate. At least you guys are catching this now and not later. Okay. We're back. So yeah, Simmons, to answer your question, snapshot, rapid aim, they're better off combined. And yeah, I'm gonna start scrolling. There's lots of builds that you can be putting together right now. Flatties, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. But yeah, you know, glad you caught this. I'm usually. Okay, you know what? Today is an off day. I'm gonna go do some jumping jacks and get the blood flowing. Yeah, I wonder if I have a replay for you guys, something you haven't seen yet, while I do that. So real fast, let's take a look. But no, we're gonna be going over perks. So if you have any question about what perks you want to see, be my guest and ask right away. Okay, well, it turns out I probably don't have anything to go over, nothing to show. I've been slacking off on recordings because I've been making a couple. And actually, I don't think I've shown off this one. What was this one again? Okay, so Sand River. The build-up. Yeah, you guys can laugh all you want. Jesus fucking Christ, look
all
at this
you
thing.
want. It's moving so goddamn slow.
Because this morning,
Just kidding, we're going.
that was funny to me.
18, not to...
Okay? That was definitely funny to me. It made me laugh. Yeah, so, Flatman, if you have any questions about, like, perk setups or combinations with equipment and perks, that's kind of what I'm going to be going over today. A couple of builds and taking them out and seeing how they perform. and I'm willing to spend some gold to get them set up to go. So then, like, perk builds you guys want to see, we'll try and throw those together and then see what we can get them to do. Just use RG. What's RG? Oh, actually, hold that thought. I'll be back. Oh, I get you. Rather than flat. Okay, just RG. Alright. Reg. Let's call you Reg. Problem solved. Problem solved. Okay, now I'm back. Just use RGs in 2014 AFC Championship game. Patriots over the Colts. Deflategate? Oh, okay, I'll just use RG. Alright, there we go. Threw my coat in my bed. Problem solved. Okay, I do feel a little bit better. That was a good thing to do. Okay, now jumping back over. What do you guys want to see? You want me to go over a heavy tank, or do you want me to go over a medium tank? Because I did mention there's multiple styles to making a heavy tank. And what kind of style would you guys like to see? Starting off, that is. And then after we do the first one that you guys want to see, then I'll go over a couple more, and then we'll try out a couple of builds. And this is just so then whenever I make my video, I have a more in detailed, thought process about it for setting up tanks. Actually, hovering over the 279E, I could show off what I'm doing for the 279E. So, for do a mobile heavy like the Object 277, 277 would be a really good one to go over. So, let's take a look at what we have on its stock. I mean, this is one that I use quite a bit. So, I'm not using a gunner hammer on my Object 277. And the reason for that is because it's already got a decently fast reload, 490 alpha. So then, you know, it's not all about your reload. It's more about, you know, being able to get in position, know what's going on. So what we're running with is advanced optics to get the extra view range. Plus we're running situational awareness to give us that 466, which makes this tank a heavy spotter. You know, since it's a haul down tank, we can get up in there, get some spotting done, and then using the 5.5 degrees of gun depression that the 277 has, we can try and work a little bit of a ridge line depending on the map we're on, and help and try and get that top plate thicker. Along with that, we're running improved ventilation, and then the advanced reloader for the swap non-clip ammo freely. And that's just because, well, the high explosives, you got 65 armor pen, you know, so I load a couple high explosives. I have a few premiums on this as well. I think that I did increase the number of premiums that I loaded on this tank, just because I ran into a couple of Type 5s and a mouse, and I ran out of premium ammo, and with standards, I could not scratch them at all. So I went through like half of my ammo reserve trying to kill 2 mouses and a Type 5. And yeah, rather than the original 8 rounds that I loaded in this, I jumped it up by 6. So usually I'll only use premium whenever I need to use premium, but that's only if I need to use premium. Now for the crew on the 277, we're not really running a lot of accuracy on this tank. We're running with 6 cents, rapid loading, born leader, steady aim to get a little bit of an accuracy bonus, nothing too much. Camouflage expertise, which I might be taking off of this tank. Firefighting, because it's Russian, you know, occasionally you get set on fire, that's not fun. And then track mechanic, situational awareness, muffled shot. Muffled shot right now is one of those perks that I just recommend everyone to have on their tanks, that, you know, as long as your gun's not over 150, or even depending on your tank. So like my 60 TP, I do believe I'm running muffled shot on my 60 TP. And, well, actually, I don't think I am. No, I'm not. It's because it's a 150 and bigger. So 150s with muffled shot, whenever you fire, it's like a 130 base or like a 140 base whenever you fire with a 152. And firing a 140 behind bushes, you're more than likely going to get spotted to begin with, depending on the range of the target and depending on how many bushes are in front of you to begin with. So muffled shot in like a, you know, an E4 and an E3, a Jagdpanzer E100, or even the Death Star. Sometimes, depending on what you're trying to do in the tank, muffled shot can be beneficial. But on a lot of your heavies that have like a 120, or every single one of your mediums, for instance, you're going to want muffled shot. Now, for your light tanks, I don't really see a big advantage to using muffled shot, but I do anyways. Because most light tanks that have, let's say, the T100 LT, for instance, it's a tier 10 light tank that has a 100 millimeter. When firing that 100 millimeter, since you're in a light tank, its muzzle flash is not exactly that big, because they're also not high powered rounds. So when you fire, you only lose like 20% of your overall camouflage factor. And if you're behind bushes, you lose like 2%. So using muffled shot in that light tank would be absolutely useless. While for mediums, for instance, let's say the M48 Patton or the M60, you know, they have a 105, 268 armor pen. When firing that gun, they're going to lose about 25% of their overall camouflage rating to about 40% of their overall camouflage rating. So running muffled shot on those to decrease that 40% down to, let's say, like, I don't know, 30% camouflage lost, that's a lot better than 40, because that means you have like a 50-meter gap between getting spotted when you fire compared to if you're not running muffled shot. So for this tank, let's go ahead, reset this up. The perks I remember, so we're going to set it up about the same way. We're going to go ahead and run 6 cents, Along with that, we're going to put the rapid loading back on. We're going to put the bore and leader back on. We did have steady aim. So steady aim is coming back on. Along with that, muffled shot, because it's not 150. It's on the Object 277. And the 277, the positions that you can get into inside this tank, muffled shot can make a really big difference. Now, another reason why I recommend running muffled shot is because it's alright, T-Bear. You can catch this once it's posted. Muffled shot, let's say you're on Prokhorovka, for instance, and you're driving along the 1-2 line ridge, and you're following all the bushes. Someone out in the distance gets spotted, you're slightly in the open, back up a little bit behind a couple of bushes, take your shot. Because you're using muffled shot, your chances of getting spotted have been decreased. Okay, so we were running situational awareness, and right there, we have all the perks back on this, except for camouflage expertise. So, rather than running the camouflage expertise, we can run with either clutch braking, off-road driving, or rapid aim to help us get the dispersion values. Which, if any of these we're going to be wanting to use on this tank, I kind of want to say off-road driving to help us get that terrain resistance a little bit higher up. That way we can drive better on soft and moderately soft to help get us that acceleration to get into a haul down position. But at the same time, let's say we're in a little bit of a battle, you know, clutch braking can make a difference. Really, it just depends on what you feel like putting on this tank. For me, the one that would make the most sense would be off-road driving to get that little bit of resistance taken off to allow you to drive a lot better. And now that we set it up, let's go ahead, take this out, see how it performs, and just go a little nuts. And if I had more silver built up, we would also try different setups with equipment. So I'm going to have to grind out some tier 8s or buy some more Christmas boxes trying to get the Object 260 out of it again. Which, by the way, if you guys are buying the Christmas boxes to try and get tanks, that 1% drop chance is a killer. It is so hard to get. I've probably opened like 150 of those, keep in mind. So if you guys are trying to get tanks out of those, I do not recommend them. You would have a better bet with the confidential, cheaper blue cards than you would with the Christmas cards. But the Christmas cards, every single crew you can sell for 250,000 silver. So, you know, opening up 37 cards, 37 times 250,000. That's how much silver you're going to be making out of every single card. Well, not every single card, but out of all 37. And I can actually easily add that up real fast because my brain don't want to work. So we're going to do 37 times by 250,000. 9.2 million is what you can get out of $37. Well, $40 because of tax, depending if you live in the US or not. So with that terrain resistance, that's also going to increase your traverse speed. So it can work the same way as clutch braking. As you can see, it's highly responsive and we're still not running clutch braking. Oh, we shot too early. Yeah, with that terrain resistance on this, I feel the difference already. Like, if you guys can see, look at the traverse speed right now. That's actually extremely responsive for a heavy tank. And a 268 version 5. And now we are in a little bit of a storm. And the 277, you don't exactly have the greatest top plate on the tank. Allies coming back up behind us. And right now, I'm just, you know, feeling how this feels right now. With that, traverse speed perk. I can say I definitely feel the difference on the, traction. We'll probably have to gonna set this up with, clutch braking, rapid aim, and the off-road driving skill perk just to see how it combines. And will you look at that. And now we have the T95E6 that's going to come around and probably put us out. Nope, we are still good to go. Except for if we try to get head-to-head against him, he's going to take us out. But still, 2,221 along with that 1,565 assisted. So, not a bad run. Could have did a lot more. Probably could have had better positioning, but we rushed up. And I'm going to laugh my butt off because I have a hater. Four out of 5? Okay. This guy. Alrighty, I gotta like that. That guy. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay, so for the 277, the loadout that we just had on that, I can definitely say I did feel a big difference in traverse speed by just having off-road driving on that. So, soft, and then 7.5 increase into moderately soft terrain. And there are a couple of bonuses that actually applies to hard terrain, but it's only like 5%. But it works the same as clutch braking. So since clutch braking increases your traverse speed with... Yeah, that's actually definitely what we're going to go over. Okay, so since clutch braking increases your traverse speed itself and just raises traverse speed, depending on how high your traverse speed is, so let's say if you're over like 25 traverse speed, off-road driving could be more beneficial than clutch braking. So for a lot of light tanks, they have like a 30 to 50 traverse speed, just depending on the light tank. And then for this heavy, let's say for the 277, for instance, which once we access the modules on this, it's going to be the only one that we can see. So 32-degree rotation, which means 15% on soft terrain. If I was actually to jump over to the website here and bring you guys with me, we're going to go full tank list. We're going to full screen that. We're going to head over to the Object 277 just to get an idea at what we see here. So now we're going to exit that. We're going to bring up the calculator. So for soft terrain, we have 14. Now let's go ahead and take that 14 and do a plus, what was that? 7.5 or 15% that they add to the crew. It is 15% on soft terrain. So we're going to add 15% to that. So that's a 2.1% increase. So 16.1. And now let's go ahead and take the 24.10 for the medium. So we have 24.10 plus 7.5%, which is going to bring us up only by 1 point. But then if we take the hard traverse speed right here at the 33.38, and we say that's our tank traverse speed at 33.38, which this is also included into the power to weight ratio as well, compared to hard, soft, and medium. So if we had our old numbers were a lot easier to go over than the newer ones that we have now, because it actually gave us a point resistance, while PC gives them this extremely specific board, and I can't remember what the board was. But for soft terrain, let's say that's actually, whenever you see the 33.38, that's your actual traverse speed in hard. Then on medium, your 24.10 is your traverse speed. That's what it was. Holy crap, how did I forget that? Okay, now I just feel dumb. 33.38 traverse speed, which means on hard, you have a 33.38. Then whenever you hit the medium, you have 24.1. So on soft terrain, if we just increase that by the 7% that clutch braking offers, it would be 15 compared to the 16 that we get. So off-road driving is more beneficial to be running on the 277 or a lot of other tanks. But at the same time, let's say the bonuses that it applies. So for the 33.38, and then let's just say it adds plus 5% to that, 1.69. So we jumped up to 35 traverse speed. Because back in the day, off-road driving affected all terrain resistance. And I don't know if they took off the hard or not, but we all know how wargaming works. They're a little iffy on what they want to do. Now, for the next one, a rotational build, which is the 279E focused on, let's say, the turret, for instance, for nothing but rotation. So we're running with clutch braking, and we also have, where is it? It's somewhere. Okay. But this thing was focused on getting on the move quick. So we're actually going to respec this crew one last time. We're going to throw all of the accuracy bonuses on this, which it doesn't look like we're running all of them. So yeah, we're going to make this thing just absolutely evil to the meta of what people are trying to put together right now. So Born Leader, along with that, we're going to do Rapid Aim, Steady Aim, the last couple of perks. And this is my problem with doing a build setup like this. You're really limited to what you're able to use. So, full on focus on traverse speed and movement. And turret rotation. So with, let's say, where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, Rapid Aim, which increases your turret traverse and your gun rotation speed by 10%. Along with that, we're running with Fuel, which also gives us an additional brain fart is what it gives us. Yes. So 5% top speed and plus 10% to turret rotation. So module viewer, which we just saw the 277. That's always fun. But 277 would be a good one to do this on. So 27. So we're going to take 27 plus, let's say, the 20% overall. So we jumped from 27 to 32.4 on the 277 if we were running this, which 279E, I'd have to go through the premium tab to be able to find that tank. And hopefully coming Tuesday, they do fix that. That is something that I really want to see fixed. Because I'm getting irritated by just looking at it and going, oh, brain fart. Oh, brain fart. Okay, well, so far we've gone over 4 heavy tanks. The 60 TP, you guys, if you've watched my past live streams, you've seen me perform inside that tank. You've seen how it works with the setup that it has. What up, Lance? And then for the T11OE5, I have done a new build setup on that tank. So we're probably going to want to run a match inside that. And then we're going to jump down to medium tanks and take a look at the way the crews are put up for my medium tanks. And then probably coming either Friday or Thursday, I should be able to get a video out on this rating all the perks and if you should be running them or not. And then depending on what tank you should run them on as well. But terrain resistance perks on medium tanks, there's a couple of medium tanks I see the benefit, but at the same time I don't see much of a benefit because medium tanks already have a better traverse speed than heavy tanks. So that traverse speed for soft terrain, clutch braking is more beneficial to have on a heavy tank than it is a medium or light tank. So whenever you're making your crews, keep in mind you're making crews for specific categories of tanks. You know, you're not going to make a jack of all trades commander. You can make a jack of all trades commander, which I'm probably going to try and do a setup on one myself to be able to run any tank, so then you never have to spend the gold again to respec, depending if you have multiple crews or not. Hopefully 15 one day. Well, right now, T-Bear, you can probably think about it. If we had 12 perks that we were able to put on our tanks right now, you would just run the accuracy build that I'm running right now in my 279E, along with the traverse speed and everything else and the repair time bonuses. And then stacked on top of that, you just run a little bit of camouflage and suddenly you have a god crew. Like, that's the way I would look at it. Worth it. No regrets there. 65 damage, but the light tank's out. Now, the 279E, I hate using this tank as a demonstration, but it's probably the best one for this because we all know that the traverse speed... Oh, hello, Dryer. You are... Holy crap, you are loud. Jesus. I feel like I should mute my headset for that. Holy crap. So, for equipment on our 279E, we're running ammo choices, and I will throw this out there. Someone made me angry inside my 279E. So I'm loading a lot of premium. I got premium spammed while I was inside of my OE5 and decided to say, you know what, screw this. I put 30 rounds of premium inside my 279E. You guys can say whatever you want to say, but it happens to all of us. We get angry at people, and we just want to get a match out to get our frustrations out. And I'll tell you now, the best way for me to do that is to spend a crap ton of silver. Oh, why did you pull out 907? You made a mistake. I don't think that 907 meant to pull out in front of him. Well, if we had 15 crew perks with the setups that they have right now, you would be able to get a meta build concealed. And to me, that just doesn't sound fun at all. Okay, I think our chances of going through the hatch are very, very, very small. Simmons +1, -1. I don't think it should be a permanent aspect to the game. I think that for the time being, we should only have +1, -1 for tier 8s. That would make a big difference just because of how often they're reworking tier 8s, well, reworking tier 10s. Because each time they buff tier 10, or each time they buff a tier 10, tier 8 suffers. So I'd rather see tier 8 get like a temporary for the +1, -1, but then being able to see 6s, do some reworking on some 6 tanks, and just go over that. Alright, well, he already took a shot. Oh, we're driving on corpses. Do not push me. Thank you. You can go around. I do feel bad that I have so much premium inside this thing. Wow, even though we were firing off a crap load of premium rounds, we still made money. We made 23,000. So, I don't feel like that was a very good match to show off for the way the tank could perform with this crew setup. But it gives you an idea on how the traverse speed was working, the turret rotation was working, and then to think about how you're throwing together your 279E, bolstering it. But, oh, that's why we made money. We had a challenge complete. We're gonna fix this real quick. There we go. That's the normal loadout for that tank. Yeah. Yeah. We're making a lot less money right now with the +1 -1 than what we would be making if we had a good match inside tier 10. Okay, so 279E. I did recently redo my OE5, and I have not yet played a match with this new crew setup. I mean, all I did was change over like one perk, which was actually I was running track mechanic and general mechanic, and then I forgot to take off Deadeye. So Deadeye, in my opinion, on this tank, it could be a useful perk because 6% increase to critical damage for, yeah, increase chance of damage enemy crew modules with AP, APCR, and heat shells. So that's another thing. We don't know what tanks are shooting anymore. You know, you don't know if you're firing a Hesh round or not. Well, I mean, we know that the Chieftain, the Valor, the Conqueror, the FV, the 1A3, and the FE 4005 all have Hesh rounds. Okay, as their the Death Star and the 4005 have them as their premium. Then for the 3 heavy tanks for the British, we know that they have them as their high explosives. While I know the Superconch has standard AP and premium APCR. So I'm waiting for them to finally name what the rounds are that you're firing, because the T1105 fires standard rounds as AP and its premium rounds are heat rounds. So they're affected by Deadeye, but the high explosives are not. And with the fire rate this thing offers, I think maybe Deadeye's good. Maybe Deadeye's good with the fire rate that this thing offers. And with that, I can't remember what the percentages are for crew damage on the bigger guns, but I do know every single shot from a 120 is 10%. And then increase it by 6%. So adding a 6% on top of that's a 16% overall chance to damage crews and things. It could be beneficial. Or maybe it is beneficial to be running it. I have no clue. All I know is my OE5 performs really good. I've taken off the gun stabilizer, which is vertical stabilizer to begin with, which gave 20% accuracy. So we're going to be watching me whiff a lot of shells. And I'm going to have to try and put this all down in like a 20-minute video. That's going to be fun. You know, the more I think about it, we could try and make a jack of all trades build too. Which, the way that the 277's put together, we could make that a jack of all trades. G-Sor. Alright, so I do think we had muffled shot on this crew. I can't remember. Man, I'm horrible at this, aren't I? I think once I get some more experiments out for the crew setups and everything else, I can probably rate them depending on what tanks they should be in. Like, we'll do like a 1 out of 10 system for rating the skills depending on what tank you're in. So, super heavies, and then medium heavies, and then lightweight heavies. We can go over those. And then for the mediums, you do have super heavy mediums, medium mediums, and then lightly armored mediums like the Leopard 1 and the T-60. And then light tanks are just light tanks. We're just going to go over them as light tanks. Tank destroyers, I do know that track traverse speed on a lot of tank destroyers is going to make a big difference, especially if they have a front-facing gun. So there is a build setup that we're probably going to be trying out here in a minute after this inside of a tank destroyer. And I think the best one for that would be the T11 OE3, just because of the way that thing's put together in the front mounted gun, along with the slower traverse speeds. Okay, we're struggling to hit that. We didn't miss that one, though. Oh, 268 version 5. There are so many of those in the matchmaking right now. I'm actually happy that our tier 8s are not seeing tier 10s right now, because I do not want to see a single 268. Because I don't think it matters what tier 8 you're in. That thing's just going to rip through it. Like, if you're in an OHO, that 268 is so fast. Like, let's say Fisherman's Bay, for instance, you're just going to get caught out in the open and probably ripped to shreds. Okay, we are spotted. Shots coming from the right. We're going to want to slap that repair kit. Jesus. There are so many tanks on that ridge over there. And our light tank is... Oh, look at where our scout is. Kicking it in the background. Alright, no gamer tags. We're not looking at that. Yes, indeed me. I am deady. Dead, 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 dead. Super dead. RG. I wish I had an autonomizer to just make me autonomous. I really do. But at the same time, I don't think it would matter, just because not everyone is looking for me. Oh, so what? You can come jump inside the same game me and try to kill me or platoon with me? No, I'm going over perks and stuff today. I'm taking it really slow inside these matches. Alright, so commanders, my TL1 LPC, which is my autonomous or anonymous. It's anonymous. Anonymous. I can't remember what they called it in PC. It's an autonomizer, is what they called it. And it's a installed program on the computer for CCs and people who just don't want their tags being released. Alright, so for the TL1 LPC, I played that on the last stream a lot. And there's something I would like to share. I am not running any accuracy buffs on this crew at all. Which means that the matches you guys saw inside this tank were with the base 0.4 gun dispersion that the tank had. Now, the crew that's on this, I can use on my M60 my T95 V6, and if I really wanted to, I could also probably throw it on my T57. Now, going over the perks real quick. Born Leader, it's probably a must-have on a lot of crews and a lot of builds, just because it's overall 10% crew effectiveness and skill effectiveness. Along with that, rapid loading. You can choose to use rapid loading on mediums if you want. Your fire rate's already really fast on a lot of mediums to begin with. But let's say you want to run rapid loading, but then you want to sacrifice a gun rammer for vertical stabilizers, which is now gun stabilizers. That could work out too. Or to get in a advanced reloader, or really anything you want there. Now, camouflage experience inside of a medium, definitely. Silent driving inside mediums, I would recommend to use silent driving just to give you that extra advantage with your camouflage factor. 55% decrease to the effective driving on your vehicle's camouflage factor, ineffective on light tanks. As they said, ineffective on light tanks. So this works on heavies and mediums, but it's more effective to be running this on a medium tank than it is a heavy tank. Because let's say a mouse, for instance, only has a 0.01 camouflage factor. If you were running this on it, you'd have like a 0.02 camouflage factor. And just the benefits there, completely worthless. Firefighting is worthless now with the enhanced repairs. No, I wouldn't say that. Firefighting is still a useful perk depending on what tanks you're in. So for instance, the British, like the FV rear mounted tank, that right there would be beneficial to have on that tank just because that thing is a fire prone magnet. You know, it sucks getting set on fire inside that tank a lot. Now, oh, look, match is over. Cool. Lost silver. That's the way to do it. 6 cents, muffled shot. Definitely going to be wanting to run situational awareness. It would be the equipment. I'm going bankrupt. I know how you feel, man. I've been slowly equipping every single one of my 10s with equipment. You know, I'm playing 8s. I'm slowly setting everything together. You know, I got my Chieftain. I ripped apart my Super Conch for whatever reason. My Valor's together. Death Star's not. Badger's not. 4005 is. E50M. All of these, a lot of these are put together right now. You know, I never thought I'd see the day that I had so much equipment on a lot of tanks. And I'm not even done yet. Alright, get back to the pattern. So, we're not running any accuracy bonuses on the pattern. So, we have a base 0.36 gun dispersion. For the equipment, we're running with improved ventilation, coated optics, and advanced loader, just to help get that reload up, lock people down, and just go nuts from there. Just the fire rate overall because of how good the 105 is on the M48 pattern. Plus how heavy the turret is too. That's another big benefit to the tank. The Holland Hound, the Low, and the Dragon for your silver making tanks. Dude, the Low is so freaking fun right now. And I don't even have mine put together. I'm super jealous that you got yours put together right now. I need to get mine put together because that's just a great tank. It's 105, is a super gnarly 105. But I do think it's lacking in damage with 320 alpha. I think it's only got a 320 alpha compared to most to have 360 and 490. But the accuracy, it don't miss. It never misses. So off we go, M48 pattern. Oh no! Oh well, that sucks. Oh man, that really sucks. Oh. So, I've had a pair of headphones for about 5 years. Skull Candy Skull Crushers, the Bluetooth ones. They were on top of my backpack, and I stood up to take a step out real fast, and I stepped on them and broke the hinge. Wait, the low has a 490 alpha? I don't remember the low ever having a 128 though. I know the low had a 105. I'm gonna have to check that after this match. Because there's no way it's got a 490 alpha. Man, that sucks. I stepped on my headphones. One pair of them. So what do you mean, RG, by going through your garage, like playing every single tank you have? K21, no, K91 has got a nasty reload rate that we do not want to run into. So even without running a whole bunch of accuracy bonuses, we're still landing shots on the move. But then again, a lot of tanks do have different dispersion patterns on the move. Alright, we're definitely not going to want to move up against that K91. And with the view range that we offer for the team, we are making a little bit of a difference if I'd stop getting shot in the rear. Seriously, someone needs to hit that UDES. Or, what I can do right now is we can flip, head down low, take on the Super Conch. Drop down right here, forcing everyone else to come up higher. Do lose a little bit of hit points, but you know what, it's alright. Doesn't help that I'm leaving that heavy by himself. Okay, I didn't realize he had the gun depression to do that. Did it look like he did, guys? Because I don't feel like he did. Okay, so there's that super conch. He's already out. Artillery's up top. We spotted out the artillery. And... ooh. Okay, that was a very good shot in his part. Probably had a premium loaded. Or that's the flattest part of the turret. Oh, it's a QL. Oh well, back to garage. Don't mind being framed. I just don't want to do it on YouTube. RG man, are you kidding me? Come on, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad at the game as long as you're logging on and having fun. And if you're here, you want to learn about the game. So, it's like that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, yeah, that's right. We were talking about redoing a crew specifically for the OE3 to see how this thing will perform with the different setup. So, the Bone Shaker is the crew that we run on the OE3. Let's go ahead, transfer these guys back over to the OE3. And with a lot of things that I've been going over, I've realized there's a ton of perks that just, running general mechanic, if you want to run it for the extra little bit repair speed, sure. On a front-facing tank destroyer, that can be a huge difference and, make or break the tank. Especially on the OE3 for how close I like to get inside this tank. But we're not really doing any view range on this thing. So we still only have the base 390 that it gets. And I'm still super sad that I stepped on my headphones. Oh yeah, I don't think that there is any... Wait a minute. Hold up. Oh, the plastic's full on broke. Okay, so yeah, there's no fixing this. Depending on if they slide back in or not. Okay, it's really stiff. But they're kind of in. Oh, both sides are broke. Oh well, that sucks. Step one, guys, make sure that your headphones, you don't leave them on the ground. Unless you don't care about them. I think they're just around the neck headphones now. Okay, repairs. And repairs to fix damage modules are the better. Sorry, just... Okay, so... general mechanic and then track mechanic. You have a 10% increase to everything with general mechanic, which sure, you could say it could be a beneficial perk to have on. But at the same time, on a lot of tanks, I don't think running general mechanic's a good idea. I'd rather just run with track mechanic, because if you're running the enhanced repair kits, you're also running a premium consumable, you're running Born Leader, like it jumps all the way up to like 70% on that repair time. And is it really worth getting the 70, or would you be okay with just dealing with 60% on your super heavies? But there's some tanks, 70% could make a difference. For instance, I would say the OE3, 70% could make a big difference. And Martin, I'm doing pretty good. Well, if you stack it on, if you stack them together, then you probably could not run with track mechanic. But then if you're used to running that, and then you take track mechanic off, then everything's going to feel like it repairs slow. And being caught out in the open, getting locked down by mediums. But just running track mechanic with the premium consumable for repairs is enough to get you up and moving quick. And Born Leader also affects repair times too. Yeah, the general mechanic, I don't really see a massive use for it depending on the tank that you're in. I mean, if you want to squeeze out that extra repair time, it's like you got to think on other perks that they have inside the game as well. So muffled shot, steady aim, clutch braking. You know, there's a lot of perks out there that would be a lot better to throw on than to just have that overall increase. So like, for instance, clutch braking compared to off-road driving. Some tanks off-road driving would perform better than clutch braking for soft terrain and moderately soft terrain. So you have hard, medium, soft. Medium and soft terrain you really suffer on in a lot of tanks. So for instance, the OE3 with off-road driving and clutch braking, that would be, it would make this thing perform a lot better on soft terrain and moderately soft terrain. And knowing that it's a front-mounted turret and your gun is stuck in the front with a really small 20-degree arc, 30-degree arc, I think it's like 20 degree, maybe even 15. So being able to rotate on your targets a lot quicker, yeah, that does make a huge difference. And then sure, repair time too. Tracks get taken off, get them back up as fast as you can to be able to rotate in your target. So yeah, general mechanic can be useful depending on the tank, but it's really dependent on the tank. So like for the OE4, for instance, I don't think general mechanic would be worth using. I feel an artillery. I feel it. I don't see it yet, but I feel it. Now, for my T11OE3, I'm running with the advanced loader, advanced reloader, and improved ventilation. Yeah, there's actually a couple of things that I would like to go over with you guys just to show it off and the reasons why I don't recommend using general mechanic, because I feel as in it does feel like a wasted perk, but at the same time it can be useful. Just really depends. So after this match, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of things, and then we'll do some math and see if general mechanic is even worth running. And I mean, literally, you can use a calculator on this game to do math for everything. So running with off-road driving, clutch braking, that feels extremely responsive. Now, they did change fuel, and since they changed the way fuel works, I used to like running it on my OE3, but since they changed the way that it works, and it's now an active ability for the additional power to weight, I don't feel like it's worth having. Clutch braking went from 5% to 7.5%, so that extra 2.5% does make a massive difference on the tank. Also, depending on the tank you're in too. Throw a little bit of high explosive out there. Alrighty, well, this match is really close to being over. Now, I do not know the exact percentage that Born Leader affects all repair times, but if we were to say it increases it by 10%, so 25% on Track Mechanic, then we can say it's actually a 2.5% increase by just a 10%, giving you just that extra little bit. I'm probably going to have to be doing some test runs with and without it, and then tracking and then putting up a timer. Chris, I do have a Discord, and if Yuki was on, Yuki would drop it in the chat, but I think Yuki is asleep. So let me grab this copy real fast for you if you would like to join our Discord. And anybody who wants to join the Discord, it's in the link. Just put it in the comments. We talk a lot of crap on there, and after stream, it would be pretty cool to get people in the general chat. So 4,127. It's still not exactly a match, I would say. Me, what's that all about? Okay, so let's take a look real quick. So let's go ahead, clear my calculator. Let's do 5%. No, that's wrong. That's so wrong. That's not what we wanted to do. There we go. So 5 plus 10 because of the premium consumable, which is plus 10 to all, you know, crew and perk skills. Because I do know that the premium consumable does increase your overall repair times and everything else. Then we're going to do plus 15. So far, we're at 30% on our repair time by just improve ventilation and our consumable here and our premium consumable. Now, let's jump over to the perks that we have on this. And let's take a look at Born Leader. And we're just going to say this only increases General Mechanic and Track Mechanic by 2.5%. For this one, it's going to be 1%, so we're going to say 11, but we're not even going to include the 11. We're going to say 27.5. Get that total out, 42.5. And then we're going to do plus 10%. So 52.5 so far. Now, 52.5. So let's say... Actually, you know what? Let's just say 60% overall. So we got 60% overall. Which I don't know how to... Oh, never mind. There's clear. So 60% overall. It takes 10 seconds to put your tracks back on. So 60% reduction. That's a 4-second repair time. Now, Born Leader, 10%. Track Mechanic, 25. Your premium consumable... You know, you're already up to 50%. So then, Track Mechanic, your premium consumable, your repair time, so 30, 40, 50, 60. Is that extra 10% worth sacrificing, let's say, Snapshot for 12% increase during turret rotation, or Deadeye, or even Muffled Shot? Is it worth the sacrifice? I'm so lost. Yeah, I just got a text from Yuki a little bit ago mentioning the T-22. It's a total of 10 seconds. So with a 60% minus, that's a 4-second repair time on the tracks. But then, at the same time, how are buffs applied? they affect the hard stats. So with gun dispersions, you know, being able to get it so low, and speaking of which, that's actually something I wanted to check out. So let's say vertical stabilizers 20% plus, let's say the 10% here plus 12% plus the 10% from the run and gun. That's 52% on accuracy. That's why tanks are just ridiculous right now. 52% overall. And then let's say like 0.21 minus 52% or like 0.27. So actually let's go ahead and do a 0.27. So we're going to clear and do a 0.27 minus 52%. That's a 0.14 accuracy. Yeah, it's all applied to the initial stats, which means that whenever you do stack them all together, their percentages stack. But that's the only thing that actually stacks. Now for, let's say, like the Yagaru, for instance, which I need to remember the way the crew on this is set up. We're not really running clutch braking or anything on this to make it super mobile in close quarters combat. We're more focused on long range, which camouflage expertise, we should probably take that off and then screw around with this thing a little bit. So fire, I haven't been set on fire yet inside this tank. So let's just tear this thing apart real quick. And let's go ahead, do 6 cents. 20% decrease to crew injury. I don't think there's a real big use for this perk. I'd probably say this is on the lower end of the poll, depending on if you're not running a med kit. But then again, back in the day, whenever I wasn't running a med kit, I would run a super heavy spa liner, which also provided a 50% increase to, you know, chances of your crew not being knocked out. Now, controlled impact definitely can make a difference depending on the tank you're in. But that's only if you're making a ramming build or if you have a tank that you know you're going to be ramming a lot inside of. Like the mouse, this would probably be a good one. Because every once in a while, someone just doesn't think about it. And they get too close to a mouse. And then the mouse love taps them for like 500 damage. And Martin, there should be an update tomorrow. There should be a couple of fixes coming out for tomorrow. I would say yes and no. It's really confusing how they do all this. But basically, you can take the hard stat, take the percentage, and then just decrease it from there. But then again, there is like a soft lock on it too, so you do have a diminishing in return after a certain amount. Armor angling, 5% decrease to damage received. I don't see a big use for this perk really on any tank, unless you run the equipment to get the 10% overall. But the only tank I've seen this be effective on is the mouse. Because the best way to do it is 10% damage resistance is equivalent to 10% more health. So it's kind of like the survivability 2.0 equipment that they have on PC, but we're using so much equipment and so many perk slots to make it worth using. For the Type 4, Type 5, what kind of build would I recommend for those? Ooh, that's a good one. Well, definitely stay safe stowage, since they haven't buffed the armor yet. But I'm going to have to set up my Type 5 crew. I don't think I've put them together yet. Okay, definitely going to want to run track mechanic. This is on the Jagdpanzer E100. So rapid loading. Born leader. Along with that, Deadeye could be a good perk to use, but we're actually just going to go ahead and put on clutch braking. Along with clutch braking, we're going to want to do muffled shot just to give us a little bit of concealment. Nothing too special. And so far, we now have 3 perks that we can put whatever we want on. So, supply conversion. there could be a use for this, depending on how aggressive your playstyle is, and if you think that you're going to need to run supply conversion. Which I think it's funny how there's some free-to-play players out there who don't use regular premium consumables, and they just use the base consumables, which confuses me why they added a perk to give premium players a bigger advantage inside the queue. This is one of those perks. Like, supply conversion is only for people who like to pay to win. Is the best way to look at that. But then again, we can pay silver for all the consumables as well. But pay more to win, I guess. Comms technician, 20%. This is better for light tanks, because light tanks radio range does make a big difference. Camouflage expertise, more for a light tank. Maybe medium tanks, just depending. Safe stowage, British. I definitely say British. All the way. All their ammo racks are on the bottom left of the tank in the front. Situational awareness. If you're looking to make like a balanced build and not run with coated optics, but then running coated optics and running situational awareness, you're a spotter. You can get some really good view range. Controlled impact, not bad. I'm just going over the perks. Trick driving, 30% reduction to fall damage. Well, I hope you guys aren't driving off cliffs hoping that's going to save your life. This has got to be one of the most useless perks I've ever seen. It really is. I don't see why this is here. And you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's do steady aim. We'll do off-road driving just to give us the extra little bit of resistance there for the ground. And then quick learner. I don't see a point in this perk either. Especially since you have to pay 90 gold per crew respec. Just not fun at all. Snapshot, run and gun. We got one more perk slot. See, I feel like there's a lot less perks in the game. But at the same time, there's a lot. And there's just so many ways to put together crews. But then, depending on the tank that you're in, it just doesn't feel bad at all. So, Gunsmith, for instance, this is something that makes me laugh a little bit. If we had... I'm tripping about fall damage. Well, you know what? If you're driving off cliffs in your light tank, start recording them. I would love to see that. I would love to see you making those mistakes. You're either ammo racked or on fire. Or not. You know, Martin, I highly doubt we're going to be seeing more maps tomorrow. My hopes are up, but they're not there. Now, jumping back into this, Gunsmith would be a useful perk if our consumables took 90 seconds to regenerate. But since our consumables take 60 seconds to regenerate, I find Gunsmith to be an absolute useless perk. That perk keeps my driver alive a lot. I hope you're running the fuel inside that too. So you know what? We're just going to run with Deadeye. You get the 6% chance with the APCR and heat and AP rounds, because you fire AP and heat out of the Jagdpanzer E100. So just redid the crew for this tank. Let's go see how this thing does. And I hate that I can't rotate my tank right now. You have to exit the tank, then go back over to the tank, and now you can rotate it. It's so dumb. Type 5 had premium Hesh, like it was in PC back when it was... Well, its premium Hesh only had like 90 millimeters of armor pen. And ours, right now, which is kind of funny, I think that our Type 5... Okay, 85, 264. And let's see. Oh, so I did set up my crew inside this tank. So born leader, rapid loading, clutch braking. Along with that, we ran with the armor angling because it's a big fat beast. And then whenever I do get the perks to put this thing together, what's the base view range? It should be 400. Okay. And for the equipment, I'd honestly say advanced reloader. And the reason why I would say advanced reloader on your Type 5 is because 264, 85, you choose when to fire the high explosive or the heat round. Right there. That would make the biggest difference in the Type 5. I'm probably going to have to pull out my Type 5 once I get it set up and play a couple of matches inside of it to see how it's holding up inside the matchmaking right now. But I do know that there's a couple of tanks that have benefited heavily from this update. And it's like, I know that this stream is a lot different than all the other streams. This is literally just going over how I feel about the perk systems and what perks are useful. And then I'll probably do like a quick guide video over just rating perks and rating equipment and what to combine with what. Which, literally, the amount of combinations, there's a crap load. So, I'll do, like, some quick rundowns. Fly off ridges and drop down speed with the fall damage perk. 79 kilometers, you hit a rock. It's game over if you hit that rock too hard. Half the crew is dead without that perk. Sounds like you need to slow down. Well, Chris, there's something that they did to the game a little while back. And no, gotta go fast. Ricky Bobby approves. Ricky Bobby approves. By the way, me. Ricky Bobby approves heavily right now. A lot of you guys probably didn't know this, but they increased the high roll chance of penetration with standard shells and premium shells of all shells in the game. They increased the high roll pin by 50%. So it's a 50% chance to high roll pin, a 25% chance to low roll pin, and a 25% chance to mid roll. While beforehand, it was a 50% chance to mid roll. And not just that, the damage, they did a 50% chance to low roll, a 25% chance to mid roll, and a 25% chance to high roll. So 1 out of 4 shells is a high roll, and 2 out of 4 shells should be mid rolls. Or 1 out of 4 shells should be a mid roll, and then 2 out of 4 shells are going to be low rolls every single time. That's why we've been seeing a lot less damage popping up and a lot more penetrations going through. Oh, wheeled vehicles are going to be so nasty. Alrighty, we're going to start this and see how this thing performs with the crew setup we just did on it. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, my brain is farting. The amount of brain farts that I have right now. Track mechanic. General mechanic. Track mechanic, 25%. Then you get 15% from your consumable. That's 40%. Then let's say your premium consumable at 10. That's 50. General Mechanic is 10, that's 60. And then you have Improved Ventilation plus 5, 65. Then there was one more that did 10%. Holy crap, I gotta redo this in my head again. Where's my calculator? I don't want to do this in my head. Okay, so we have 25 plus 10 plus 10. So that's General Mechanic, your consumable, plus 5 plus the 15 from your premium consumable. 65. I'm missing something. Oh, your rations. That's what I was missing. No, because we got 10, 10. 25, 10. So we have Track Mechanic, General Mechanic, your premium consumable, Improved Ventilation. Oh, the crew bonus, plus 10% from the crew bonus too. Yeah, so 75%. So a 2.5... Okay, I should drive. 2.5 increase to a 75%. Is it worth running General Mechanic when you have 75% repair time? Would you rather run 65 for the 3.5 seconds or 75 for the 2.5 seconds? Because I don't know many tanks that reload in 3.5 seconds in Tier 10, Tier 8, or Tier 7. The Jumbo is a laser now. All the derp guns aren't derpy. I know, the KV2 the other day, I pulled out my Tier 6 and that thing hit me like pinpoint. It was a little crazy to see that. I do have the 705, and I can say with the accuracy bonuses, the 705 is absolutely monstrous, which I like running my 277 crew on my 705, and sometimes my laser beam crew on my 705. I just threw a high explosive in and just absolutely slapped that light tank with an auto aim. So we're running clutch braking and off-road driving. This thing feels super responsive. This just feels wrong how responsive this thing feels right now. And he's on fire. Yeah, this just feels wrong how responsive this thing feels right now. With the off-road driving perk and then the clutch braking. And since they improved them a crap load. The 121, the medium Chinese, I can officially say this update has buffed the absolute crap out of the 121. But my 705 is set up and ready to go. So let's actually put the 277 crew inside there. But we're not going to have the same gun dispersion as like the super crew inside of it from the Bison crew from the 268 version 5. Alrighty, well, I think I've gone over a lot of the perks and some of the equipment. But speaking of the equipment, There's just a couple I don't really see a big use for, like engine durability. I don't see a big use for that. Aiming speed. I mean, if you want to improve your aiming speed, go right ahead, improve your aiming speed. And me, right after the stream, I'll team up with you and we can go nuts inside 7s, 8s, and 6s with some light take action. I'd be totally down. Advanced suspension. Damage from environmental collision. I don't really see a whole lot of environmental collisions. And then track durability plus 50%. That could probably be useful on like the mouse or the 279E. But maybe the Type 5 could benefit from the advanced suspension. Advanced concealment. I really only see this affecting light tanks super well. That's funny to me. Three marked 121 after update. You 3 marked yours, Martin? Oh, here we go. Spa liners. There's one thing about spa liners that not a lot of people know about. Des put out a video recently on it, and I love how he actually went over this. Spa liners only defend against direct impact explosions. So if it's a splash damage explosion, you're still going to take the full effect of that splash damage. But if it's a direct impact, non-penetration, your armor will absorb 50% of the damage that is applied. So rather than getting hit for 200 damage, you're only going to get hit for 100. So the spa liner does help depending on the tank that you are in. And then advanced repair systems, repair time, minus 25%. You know, so you can get 100% repair time and literally watch tracks come up with the soft cap too, because soft cap is 2.5 seconds. So you cannot pass 2.5 seconds on that soft cap. Well, actually, it's a hard cap now that I think about it. Fuel tank durability and just anything that's applying durability, I don't really see the point of it because our consumables are regenerating in under a minute. What's up, Cam? Nothing about perks for what? Sure, having a big gun, I would say a lot of people are pulling out those tanks now. But at the same time, you know, the M48 Patton and all the other fast fire rates, a lot of people aren't realizing how effective those can be right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, getting slapped by a 268 version 5 sucks. Especially with its 395 heat pin. Yeah, nothing can defend against that round. Yeah, the 121, it's an absolute monster right now. I'm not going to lie. The other day I pulled out an 8,000 damage game inside my 121. So yeah, I can definitely say that tank did get a buff. I can't remember if it's got a 440 alpha or 400. I think it's a 440. Its DPM right now is through the roof. Look at that traverse speed right now. That just feels really responsive. I can definitely say the off-road driving perk is making a big difference even in the hard terrain. It's either that or I'm just not used to paying attention to traverse speeds. Well, that wasn't me that did the 704. Oh, tires. Yeah, I laughed at that myself. Don't worry about it. Jesus, can't seem to land any shots. Oh, that's lag. That wasn't lag. What was that? What just happened? Tracking perks will make a difference, though. Getting your tracks back up fast is, you know, super recommended. But overall, like, the gun accuracy from a damaged gun, I don't see the real benefit of that perk just because of how fast regen times are on your consumables. And like ammo rack durability, fuel tank durability, engine durability. Your consumables just regen so fast that it almost feels like a wasted perk slot. Ah, seems like he's having fun. Oh, dude, if you're grinding out the 705A, 705A right now is just an absolute beast. Honestly, I think I might transfer over my 279E crew to this, now that I think about it, to get all the traverse speed and everything else bonused on top of whatever this thing has. And another waffle. Holy crap, 2 waffles this game. I only have so many high explosives. Well, now I have 1 more high explosive and I'm losing. Okay, what are you gonna do, huh? Seriously. Gosh. I can officially say that the side armor of the 705A right now is working. We're at a high explosives. Okay, we're gonna pop this corner and probably get our butt kicked by a fully loaded waffle. Oh no, he cut all the way back to the city. Look at that. Good choice of a cut. Too bad there was a heavy tank to spot you out. Alright, now I can read comments. Clapping cheeks in the 705A. Definitely. What's up, Fi? Well, Fi, weren't you already here? Why am I saying hi? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, you're back. Okay, welcome. Setting me or fine, blowing me up again, blah 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 blah. Yeah, me like the recharge times right now are just crazy through the roof. We made 136,000 silver. We had to have completed a challenge or something. That definitely had to be a challenge that we completed. Yep, 100,000 silver right there. So we made 20 something thousand silver from that match. Okay. Certified grade now equipment, but running gun, lane drive, and vertical stabilizer. I don't know about the gun lane drive, to be honest with you. That perk, I don't know how I feel about it. But I guess with the aim time, it could help out. Me, I've been ammo wrecked a couple of times. And Blade's also been ammo wrecked a few times too. Like, the modules are still there. Just with the precision that the guns have now, I've noticed that. You've got to know the locations now where the ammo racks are located to be able to pop a turret. Oh no, Cam, you're perfectly fine. It's like, honestly, whenever I see those, you make me blush. You know, be careful. Might follow you home. It's like, I swear, okay, you just subbed. Okay, I swear I've seen you before. Popping up in my streams occasionally. You've been here, like, for a couple of them. So, thanks for the sub. Well, that's because on the Type 4... Oh, there's Yuki finally making an appearance. So the Type 4 and the Type 5 both have the same problem as I shoot past it 2 times. Okay, so up on the corners there, the side panel and that side panel, that's where your ammo rack's located. Let's see. We can actually go in the module viewer. There we go, finally. So yeah, the Type 4 and Type 5 both had the same problems. Around those little corner sides, that's your ammo rack location. So whenever you're trying to come back at an angle or you're coming around a corner, you seriously risk getting your ammo rack hit. So, you know, on PC, they buffed those sides to 270. And on console, I do believe they are at still 250. Yeah, they're only at 250 on console still. But you still have a crap ton of spaced armor. So look at that. There's your low plate. And then scroll over. You got 35 millimeters plus your tracks. It's only 35 millimeters. I thought they used to be like 140. Guess they changed it. Because beforehand it was... Oh, the insides are 140. Okay, why is my brain having a big fart? It's up there. Now, side scraping in this, your weak spot is literally one of the thickest parts on your side. So, there is that. Your ammo rack's right behind it. So, it does kind of suck. Price for commander. Yeah, 500,000 credits. I don't know why they're charging credits for commanders now. But, I mean, I come over to my commanders and I look through my list and I've got... I don't even know how many pages. Where do you see the pages? I don't think you do. But I've got... So, we got these 4. This entire page. So, we have 1, 2... 2.5 pages. Well, actually, 3 pages total, because we still had the 4 in the other group. Plus 1. So yeah, 3 plus 1 pages full of maxed out crews. Alrighty. Well, you know what? Let's put the 705 crew back inside the 277. And let's go take a look at how we had that other crew set up for the... Holy crap, board, the 277 go. I don't like this new system for selecting tanks. They just need to make it to where you can select a tank, and then they ask, would you like to put a crew in this tank? Yes. Okay, so for the 279E, we are running off-road driving. Oh no, we're running run and gun with clutch braking. Okay, that sucks. All right. Let's put this guy inside the 705A. I want to pull up the 705A now. That was a good match. And the IS-4. Sloth mentioned that he went out and grinded the IS-4, and it wasn't good. The IS-4 is good. It just has a certain play style to it. I really do enjoy my IS-4, and I would like to pull it out more. But it's really hard because of that top forehead plate. And Chris, you're getting pinned by premium rounds guaranteed. Like every single hit that hits you is probably premium. Because whenever people see like a Type 5 or Type 4, that's the first thing they do is just resort to premium rounds. Yeah, me. With the new accuracy and precision the guns have, I do agree that players like myself and some others, we are abusing the accuracy. But at the same time, I'm trying to do builds that don't rely on accuracy. But, you know, like, I don't like the fact that I can get 52% towards my gun dispersion values. I hate overkilling it. But at the same time, I'm not going to say crap. I'm pulling out a 52% accuracy. Well, I'm not running gun stabilizer, so 32%. Yeah. And El Haloof. Sorry, I keep on walking off on you guys. Well, even if you can't pin them fine, there's weak spots. There's always weak spots. You know, Type 4, Type 5, they had that small hatch on top. And if you're not aiming for weak spots, it's always best to try and, like, move to a new position, get the flank on them, if you're able to. But, like, down an alleyway on Himmel's Dwarf, yeah. Good luck. You can try. Unless you can drive down a different road and then get behind them. But that depends if they're alone or not. What artilleries? Oh, they got a silo and a batchat. That's gonna be fun. It's the best way to do it, honestly. You know, I don't like to load a crap load of premium, but don't get me wrong, some tanks I do load quite a bit. For instance, my 705 here, I shoot 12 standards, 14 premiums, and 4 high explosives. I'm probably going to be switching that around here in a little while because of the advanced reloader. Get a couple more high explosives in there, like 7 of them, and I might sacrifice some premium ammo to do that. Just because 14 rounds seems like overkill. Then again, what was my reload in this? Well, even as an okay player, there's still a lot you can do. I am not sitting there. And he just went through my side armor to hit the tracks. Okay, and the 705A. Hope you're happy. Well, QL. Hope the QL's happy. Don't know why he tried shooting me there. Even premium rounds struggle to go through the turret of the 705A. Unless it's a Yaguru. Those things just don't care. Oh, why did I hit the repair kit? Oh, man. Okay, so premium consumables, make sure that you guys equip them to the buttons you want them to be on. That way you're not making the mistake that I just made. I forgot to look at my reload. Okay, it's around 13 seconds. I guess we hit his top plate. Alright, rather than trying to come after him and exposing ourselves to artillery, let's back up. Flip back around. I still haven't even fired a single premium all game, too. I actually like to load a couple of premium rounds equivalent to like the health of, let's say, like a mouse. He is not happy. I think that was a Hesh round he just put into us. And it definitely didn't high roll. Oh. Oh. Oh, that T92. That's accuracy. Oh. Artillery. And that was the... Oh, it's a silo. Okay. Well, still, 4,879. I can definitely say that the 705A does feel pretty good for this update right now. With everything that's been applied to it. So, yeah, there is that. Feels pretty good. Alrighty, me, I can finally read your comments all the way through, because they're paragraphs. Your motto for a heavy, everything takes heat to a cupola. Yeah, HE is the best way to do that. I've been loading a lot of HE in a lot of my tanks just because of haul down players. Sorry, I'm drunk. It's a Monday, man. Why are you drinking on a Monday? You should avoid that. Alrighty, well, we did redo the E100 crew. Yeah, we redid the E100 crew, so we're giving him a little bit of view range compared to what he had last time. There is a lot of premium on this. I thought it was funny to do 2021 for the premium and the standard because of the year. Along with that, we're running improved ventilation, advanced loader, and advanced reloader. And then the fourth equipment slot does not exist to me. It doesn't exist. Nope. Now, the E100, I would love to see this thing get some love and get that 270 turret buff that I got on PC. Along with the IS4 with its one weak spot on the turret. Oh yeah, skills I haven't taken. Jim, that is a really good way to put that right there for that. Chris, there's some super heavies that are still holding up really good. The mouse can hold up decently depending on like the map and the location you're in. The E100 can do just as good because it's got that big gun with a 14-second reload. But yeah, you know, heat rounds and premium going through your turret all the time just isn't fun. The 60 TP I think is holding up really good this update. Until you see a 268 version 5, then it just falls apart fast. Is that T-49 coming in like a suicide scout? And me, if anything, I'm actually probably going to be putting more high explosives in my E100. Just because of haul down tanks on maps like this. The mouse, not as much as the Type 5 and E100 though. Because the mouse has got that 210 side armor. And it's made to be angled. But even then, you know, heat rounds placed in the right spot, or standard rounds placed in the right spot, that turret is just useless. Now, which one of these guys want to pull out? See, this is a really good spot for tank destroyers. They're behind the mountain, so you know what, let's go ahead and get a little aggressive here and start pushing up. Especially since our numbers are going down. And look at that, right up on top of the ridge there. And every single shell that hit us was a premium round too. Like, you can kind of see the blue rounds come flying out now. Wow, look at that. The on-the-move accuracy that some tanks have right now are just ridiculous. And then we were up too far. They had a shot up on the top of us. Alrighty, well, tonight feels like it was pretty productive. Going over a couple of screws and well, skills and crews. So, if you guys do want to team up, you know my gamer tag. It's literally my YouTube. So if you guys do want to, send me a message. I'll play whatever tier you guys want. But just know I'm a little bit off today. That's why I thought going over skills, perks, and what to use. Plus for me, it's going to help me be able to rate them depending on what tanks we're going to want to put them on. I'm probably going to be running a couple more matches after this with different crew builds and trying out some experiments on some tanks and seeing how it performs. That way I can actually get a good rating system for each perk depending on what tank that they're in. So until next time, you guys take it easy. I'm out of here.